Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Who's the Bitch?
Yeah.
I'm Kara.
And I'm Jackie. Am I the bitch today? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Who's to say? I've been a big bitch the last couple days because I've been
me.
traveling to New York City with my fucking kids.
Oh,
and,
baby. How's that
oh my
going?
God.
Oh, and have you been alone, Kara? Have
I've
you been
been
doing this
alone.
alone?
I've been alone, and no, I'm not a single mom, but sometimes it feels like I am. My husband was out of town doing something, so I had to move the kids for the entire summer. We're going to be on the East Coast for the whole summer, so I'm coming to you, Jackie. This is the first time Jackie and I are recording virtually and not sitting side by side. It's tough.
Feels different. It's not the same,
tough.
Kara.
But we did get the Bitchathon as a chance to be side by side for 3 full hours.
Oh,
and
my God.
thank you everybody who watched
Thank
and everybody
you.
who listened.
And for everybody who called in as well,
Yes.
because that was big, and we really appreciate you. But also, if we didn't get to your calls, we are going to be doing more live bitchathons in the future. So don't you worry, you will get an opportunity not long in the future to talk to us live again. But we loved talking to you guys
Yes.
live.
And if you have something that's pressing, you can always leave us a voicemail or email us at who'sthebitch.com.
Always.
And if you missed the live stream, we're at youtube.com/@who'sthebeat. Subscribe. You can watch the entire 3-hour bitchathon. We're also going to release a greatest hits podcast version of it in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, it was just a blast. And thanks to everybody who watched, and all the comments were so funny. You guys are so funny. I'm always in the middle of listening to somebody's heartfelt thing and going like gagging because I'm laughing. Yeah, it was the best. But we really quickly, in general bitchery, before we get started, because I love these, Lily emailed us to ask, what's the bitchiest Starbucks order?
Whoa.
And I knew you'd have something to say.
Whoa.
I don't drink coffee, so to me, any Starbucks order is bitchy. I cannot stand the tall grande venti situation. So when I'm there and I'm ordering for my husband, I go, "Can I get a medium?"
Oh,
and they'll be
you're one
like,
of those.
"Yeah, grande." I'm always like, "Yeah, and a large hot chocolate, large." I just
refuse to use their lingo.
I refuse to use their lingo. It's like, have you ever been to that place in LA that's called Cafe Gratitude?
Ew, no. What does that mean?
Oh my God. So every dish is called peaceful or
I'm filled with rage. No.
or reflective
No.
or whatever, and you're supposed to order it by saying, "I am
No.
peaceful." And so I'm always like, "Can I get a peaceful, please?"
What are you, fucking peaceful or something?
Yeah. So that to me is that's way obviously more dramatic than a venti and I and grande and tall or whatever. But I don't appreciate them making me do math. I don't drink coffee. I don't want to do small, medium, and large is good for everyone else. Why can't it be good enough for Starbucks?
Because of branding, Kara. All right, they got to have their branding, Kara. Now, my issue is that I am not the kind of person. Now, I worked at a coffee shop as a barista for many, many years. So, I know the world of people being bitchy in drink orders. I fully understand, especially because I worked at the opposite of a Starbucks where literally down to every syrup was made by hand. Everything was artisanally made. So
were you guys hand milling your stevia? What was going on?
I'm surprised we didn't. But Kara, were we making our own almond milk? Yes, we were.
Oh, no.
Were we making it? But it's down to every individual. We would make our own hand squeezed lemonade, but then we would also make all the syrups. So we would boil down the blueberries to make blueberries. Now, I'm telling you, Kara.
Oh my God.
We were making drinks out your ass, though. We were making such delicious drinks. And I am saying that, it is a different game than the Starbucks squirt game. Not that I'm saying that there's not a beautiful artistry to it, because there is. And I know that there is. But My issues with annoying drink orders really come down to the people making the drinks and not so much like the establishment for having a like strawberry dream foam treadmill nightmare, like those ones, like that's on the corporation for doing it. My problem are the people that need it down to the degree. Do you know how many people require their drinks to be a specific temperature? And that, when you have a long line of people...
Kill me.
Oh, see, this is my problem, Kara, my problem is I hear your cries of the, I'm going to say small, I'm going to say medium, I'm going to say large. But after you've hit like a third person that was like, if it is not 112 degrees, then I will scream. But then someone comes in and goes, a medium, that's when... it breaks through the cracks, Carol. That's when it all starts to show, and everyone that knows retail understands when just the one person can be the straw that broke my back.
Oh my God, I don't want to be the straw that breaks anybody's back, but I didn't realize people were fucking giving orders with Fahrenheit. Like, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it is.
And God forbid Celsius. God forbid it's like somebody from across the pond and they're like, could you do the conversion, please?
God forbid. Because I'm like, baby, I am too American to know those things. I can't be like, no, that's too international to know what everyone else uses, which is what we probably should know, Kara. But we here in America choose not to. But anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use that as a way to, I didn't know I had to get that off my chest.
No, I love it. This is great. So basically your answer is the bitchiest Starbucks or coffee order is like when it involves specific heat degree. That is bitchy as hell.
I'm not even saying like specific pumps. Everybody wants a specific, that's a one dump, one pump, like who cares? That's fine. It's just really those kind of specifics.
Yeah.
Or like,
because pumps, it's like, cherry. I'd rather you tell me than I just do one. And then you're like, this isn't good. Like,
exactly. Tell me the exact amount of, exactly. So if you do need it exact, then tell me, I guess, exactly what you need.
You know what I want to do is go to freaking Utah and go to one of those swig places and get all those pumps of the different flavors and the sodas.
So you said swing places, but I thought it, I was like, oh yeah, Kara.
I want to go to Utah, go to one of those swing
places, and I want to be laying there being like, which one's my husband? I don't know. A hole's a hole, don't you know?
No, I want to try like where they're like, can I get Dr. Pepper with a pump of coconut cream and all that? Like I want to try.
Kara, we have to go. I want to go to a swig so desperately. We've got to find it.
Let's get an East Coast swig. Come on. Enough people watch all these Mormon shows. There's got to be a market for a swig in like, I don't know, put it in like Delaware. We'll go.
Atlantic City. Put it in Atlantic City.
Or I guess we live closer. In LA, we live closer to Utah. We could just hop a quick flight and just go over to Salt Lake first. So we should do soda tourism. We just go for a weekend and we just pump ourselves full of so much fucking high fructose corn syrup that we can't even breathe.
This is the way the Mormons do it. But also there's one in Vegas, Kara.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, now we're talking.
Oh, baby.
Now we are fucking talking because I love Vegas.
Me too,
I love it. All right, well, we were going to do a little dollop of unsolicited advice, which is basically...
Oh my God, the bots. Are we already going to bring up?
Bots,
sorry.
Yes.
If
you missed that, if you missed the bitchathon, you missed that we did an amazing fucking. I see brackets all the time for sports. I don't care about them. I like a March Madness style bracket that involves pop culture. So of course we did Bitch of the Summer. 16 entries went in. And one winner emerged, and that winner, the bitch of the summer, was Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez, who at the time of the bitchathon were entering into their wedding weekend, and now as of this recording, are betrothed, are legally wed. And I know you have probably, I saw that she got the digital cover of Vogue. I saw one photo of her dress. I thought the dress was
fine.
So old fashioned though. All that lace on the sleeves, the button up. It's like, girl, it's your second wedding. Like, I don't know.
Let it
like,
all
just,
hang out.
I just feel like you should have a little bit more fun with your second wedding, you know, like be a little bit, you know, you bought those fake boobs. Let's let them out, you know?
Well, don't worry. They were having a lot of fun, Kara, because I don't know. It's like, it simultaneously was the most gross display of wealth by like essentially taking over Venice. There's so many protests against this wedding because essentially if you can rent the city of Venice, then you can pay more in taxes is essentially the QED there. But on top of it, I couldn't help myself that I really wanted to call them the bitch of the summer because now we see that not only did they have this grandiose black tie affair, but beforehand, they had a foam party on a yacht. But then, Kara, did you see that after the wedding, right after, they had a pajama party? And I see these people making such ridiculous choices, but then you're gonna I feel like I'm watching the movie Blank Check as if a 12-year-old might be secretly at the helm of this. I'm like, what if and then we put them in their pajamas.
Like did you guys not have any fun in college? Like you're it's like all of these parties sound like college theme nights. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. Like it is, I don't understand how or why this, like, and maybe it's because, you know what, guys? Surprise. I've never been excessively wealthy before. So maybe I just don't know what happens. And maybe like your brain, like a freeze-dried candy, like I feel like it atrophies and becomes crunchy. Like maybe they suck all the juice out of your brain when you get this wealthy. And then you just have a crackled, like, bullshit version of a Skittle.
You just like but they also must have just had access to like the best party and event planners in the fucking world.
Exactly.
And this is what we came up with: a foam party and a PJ Jammy Jam.
Right.
It's also like it reeks of kind of like we're normal and accessible.
Yes.
We're just doing like a good old fashioned what anybody would do, and it's like no, nobody I know is doing a PJ party.
No, not at it's even like not right now. Although maybe like, Kara, am I missing out? Like, are we supposed to be having pajama parties? Like, I don't know if I want to see you and your husband in your pajamas right now.
No,
because I feel like you either have kids and like even just the look of how tired you were, me just asking you to go out of the house in your pajamas because you know that means you have to get done up, but then also pretend like you wear something that other people can see as pajamas. Like, nobody can. Like, you
know what I wear to bed most nights is a Juvederm t-shirt I got for free. I've never actually had Juvederm, and I've worn it for so long that the logo's completely like it's threadbare. You can basically see my tits through it. There's nothing on it.
Don't lie to me. I feel like all of this stuff, it's like none of these celebrities are wearing all these silk to-dos to go to sleep.
Oh, no.
Don't you lie to me. Honestly,
I didn't see a single picture. Wait, tell me who was all there. Besides Katy Perry and Eva Longoria.
Whoa. Part of- oh my God. Actually, Kara, how dare you say that? Because Katy Perry was not there.
Oh, because of the divorce?
Because Orlando Bloom was there. Yes, because of the divorce.
Whoa, did Orlando get the Bezos couple in the divorce?
Bro, he got Bezos in the divorce.
What?
And
I guess space doesn't bond the girlies like we thought it did.
Thank you. I see so much more in that choice than I feel like even like that the internet is ripping apart right now. And I was like, oh my God, am I being more sensitive than the internet as a whole right now? But I also, to be fair, haven't looked into it. So I imagine what the internet is talking about is the fact that Sydney Sweeney was the to-do at every one of the parties. But in my head, I was like, Sydney Sweeney. It's like, so they were all like, apparently Tom Brady was like dripping in his boots over Sydney Sweeney, but that everybody who's anybody wanted to be dancing with Sydney Sweeney. But then everybody saw that Orlando Bloom and Sydney Sweeney were taking a walk together.
Oh, no.
And everybody who's anybody that watches Love Island knows that when you take someone for a chat, that means you're going to go make out.
Dude, can I steal you for a second? Oh my God.
Yes.
You guys, I just feel like we might be pushing Katy Perry too far. I'm nervous. Like she's having the worst year ever. And like, I feel like
not
this
going
is
to the
too
Bezos
much.
wedding.
Not going, and then your boyfriend, your ex, because they actually weren't married. They're not actually divorced.
Oh.
They're just broken up. I found that out just when they broke up. I was like, oh, they're not married.
But also,
they never got married.
Oprah, almost all the Kardashians except for Kourtney. Kourtney did not go, by the way, in case you were wondering. But Oprah's fingers are all over. There's so many. I feel like there's going to be, I wonder when or how a denouncement would happen of like I was never there. And it's like, oh, you can't even back
No, we
out
got
of
the
these,
pictures,
you know
baby.
what I mean?
Wow. I'm surprised Oprah went.
Also surprised.
Damn. I'm surprised. I mean, the Kardashians are doing ads for Cybertrucks. Like they have there's no, the answer has no limit or whatever from Mean Girls. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, that's fucking nuts. But let's jump into solicited advice because our first call involves a wedding and some female friendship issues as well. So kind of perfect.
Whoa.
This is actually just for everybody that maybe anybody that missed the Bitchathon. This is a caller who called us during the Bitchathon and wanted to know if her friend is getting married and her best friend, who's also friends with the bride-to-be, is not invited. And she doesn't really know why, but she goes, would it be bad for me to ask my friend to babysit? Which we said, yes, it probably would be rude because she doesn't even know she's not invited to this wedding yet. So here is Holly with an update and another question for us.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Okay, first off, I would just want to say how much I appreciate that you have 666 in your phone number. So hail Satan, thank you. But this is Holly. I spoke with you on the live stream about how my friend is not invited to a wedding of a mutual friend. So my dealer is having a wedding, and my best friend and I are both mutual friends with this person. Just for a little recap, and she wasn't invited. So basically, now I'm calling to figure out how to present that to her, how to tell her about this whole situation. So how do I not be a bitch in this situation? How do I tell her, like, hey, so-and-so didn't invite you to the wedding, but I'm going? Because, like, she's going to know that I'm going to go. And I guess I also forgot to, like, mention, too, that, like, pretty sure her ex-husband is going to be at this wedding as well. So I'm guessing that might have something to do with the reasoning of why she wasn't invited. I'm not entirely sure. Could be something completely different. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, how do I tell her that this is all happening and that this is going on without, getting her to be upset with me? I guess I know it's not my doing and it's not my fault, but I don't know how's the best way for me to delicately present this situation to her. Thanks. Love ya.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, Holly.
Okay.
Girl, thank you again. But
Thank
Holly
you.
was very, very, you got to go back and watch the live stream if you didn't listen to it, because Holly was just like doling out details like as time went on, and it was so funny. and this is another detail that we didn't know, which is that the ex is going to be at the wedding. And then maybe that's why. I mean, the thing that's crazy is like, I've seen this happen before in my own friend groups. And it's like, you know, everybody just sort of starts talking about a wedding and then somebody's like realizes like, oh, I'm not invited. Like, has that happened to you, Jackie? I think I talked about this on the stream. I got verbally told I was going to be invited to a wedding. And then actually the bride wrote me and said, listen, we had to cut it way back. I'm so sorry. Like, I can't invite you. And I was like, no problem. And then we're still friends, like to this day, actually.
I'm also the younger sister of a person. And I know that this sounds silly, but oftentimes that like I would meet people through Henry. So if someone was going to get the cut, it's going to be the sister of the guy that technically I'm more friends with the guy, but the sister really should. I never get hurt though. Like I've never had a situation that like I really expected because to get invited and then didn't get invited and then was like, I usually am very good at trying to rationalize these things and be like, there's got to be a million other reasons, which is what you even have when talking to your friend. You do have some reasons. I feel like the difference in the question of that Holly asked us live was that like if she should ask her friend to watch her kids in this situation. But I do feel like everything, Holly, that you were saying about talking to your friend is kind of spot on. I think that in talking to her about like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to go do X, Y, and Z, and that we were invited to it, and so we're going to go to it. I did hear that, you know,
I mean,
ex is invited to it.
But would you
remember? She was saying this is like best friends since birth. I'm only saying this because they're like best friends, and not, like I feel it might be different if it was like an acquaintance or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, if it was like and I mean, my first thought is to go, well, I don't know. I'm kind of like, do you just say, did you get invited to this? I just got invited to I just got the invite for so-and-so's wedding. Did you get it? But then it's like, if you know that they didn't, that feels like dishonest. But
right.
If it was an acquaintance, that's probably what I would do. I'd just be like, oh,
right.
yeah, like, did you get, you know,
right.
or not as
bring
good of a friend.
Casually.
Yeah, bring
that's
it up casually.
Why I feel like I would be, because it's not your choice. And I think coming at it in a way of being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, don't like baby it too much. Yeah.
Right.
And don't baby her, because that can make people feel even more frustrated in these
right.
kind of situations. Like my husband always goes, I feel like I'm being handled. I hate feeling like I'm being
right.
handled. And like, so yeah, I agree. You could just say like,
more
hey,
direct.
Listen, I just found out the date for so-and-so's wedding. I'm going to go. And
I know that they weren't able to invite everybody.
I know, like that they couldn't get everybody on there. I hope you're not upset or whatever. And then,
but I just wanted to let you know.
And then if she's like, "Oh my God, why do you think I'm not invited?" You could be like, "Oh, maybe it's because your ex is going to be there." I really don't know. That's honestly an issue between her and dealer. Like, you are the third man in this situation. Like, I think like direct is best. Just be like, listen, this is awkward or whatever, or not even. Just say, listen, I just wanted to let you know I don't want to keep secrets from you. And I just want to let you know that I got invited to this wedding, right. And I'm going to go. Yeah.
And I didn't want you to find out later on that I went to it and it was like a thing that I didn't tell you. Like, I feel like making it where it's like, I wanted to just let you know, and because I respect you and I'd rather just come and have an uncomfortable conversation than you find out down the line and it hurt your feelings.
And if you want to, and if she wants to find out more about why, you can sit with her as a friend and like speculate, but like that's a conversation for her to have with the bride. Like you just can't do that much more. You know what I mean? Like, so I hope, but I would definitely leave childcare out of it, babe. You know,
yes.
I would not ask her. But we talked about you leaving your partner at home and just going solo, and that could be fun.
I mean, it always is. It's a different kind of time when the partner ain't around. Not that I'm saying we're kissing.
My husband. No, I'm not saying you're gonna cheat, but like my husband doesn't like to dance. You know, I'm like, get out of here. I'll go by myself. I'm going to a wedding by myself in 2 weeks, baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Holly, thank you so much for entrusting us live and over voicemail with your thing and let us know how she takes it. I'd be interested to know.
Please let us know.
Yeah. And then, okay, we have another voicemail coming up as well.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hey, gals. It is Slime Gang coming back to you again with another voicemail. I was calling because I don't really know what to do here. So I just came back from being out of town. I was at my friend's wedding over the weekend. Really great time. We had a good time. But my cat, for those of you that may know me from, chat and stuff, like my cat is diabetic. So she has to get her insulin shot at specific times in the morning and at night. So I had to ask my dad to cat sit for me, and he had to spend the night just because, her shot's early in the morning, and then it's at dinner time as well. So he stayed at my house. He spent the night. He watched her, took care of her. Everything was great. I come back from our vacation, and I'm unpacking everything, and I go to, which, by the way, my dad had texted me. He was like, oh, yeah, like that morning, he was like, I'm packing up. I'm, vacuuming everything and cleaning up the place. And then, you should be good to go. And I was like, well, you really don't need to do that. But thank you. I really appreciate it. I thought he was just like doing a nice thing. But then whenever I come home and I'm unpacking, I go and I put some stuff in my bathroom cabinets. And then I see this KY male desensitizer spray, basically like a dick numbing spray so you can last longer. And like my jaw dropped to the floor. I was like, I know this isn't my fiance's. I know I don't need this. So I was just like, was my dad fucking in my house? Because that's weird. And keep in mind, like, my dad got remarried. My mom has passed away, so this is his second wife. And I don't know. I feel so uncomfortable about all of it. Like, I didn't say anything to him, but also at the same time, like when I was a teenager and, my early 20s and still living at home, I was fucking in the house. And I know of one time in particular where my dad heard it. So, like, do I say something? Would that be bitchy to say something? Like, as of right now, I'm not saying anything, but I feel like next time I have him watch her to be like, hey, I don't know, like, respect my house and respect my boundaries? Or is that too weird to say because he's the one doing me a favor? I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I feel very conflicted about it all. Thank you very much. Love you both. Love you, Jackie. Love you, Kara. Slime. And Slime Syndicate.
Slime Syndicate, rise up.
Love you all.
Syndicate, rise up. Yes.
I mean, the dad dick spray, we had to play it, Slime. We had to play it.
Wow.
I mean, listen, my first thought is do not say anything about it right now. Do not.
Never take it to your grave.
Put that shit in the garbage and say bye-bye. Yeah.
Never, ever. But again, this is coming, I will say, Kara, I think that this is coming from two people that I would rather sew my vagina lips shut than talk to my parents
about dick numbing spray.
This. Like, I think that we are both in a particular spot that, like, even Slime did say he's heard her bang before. So I guess my question, though, Slime is, how did he deal with that? Like, was it like, do you guys have the kind of relationship? Obviously, he heard you. So obviously he brought it up. So you might have a better, more open communication style with your father. And I think that's beautiful. And even though everything in me goes like, alert, alert, never, ever have emotional communication like this.
Right.
I know that's not true. Because if you can talk to your father about things like this and it doesn't make you want to atrophy into dust the way it makes me want to, I would say I do think it is good to set boundaries for your own home and that there is nothing wrong with, even if you are asking someone to do a favor, to say, hey, I'd rather you not. I guess,
I don't
question,
know.
Though, as I'm saying this, I might be immediately taking
I don't
that
know.
back.
Like, I don't know if you can control people's like bodies in your home. Like, I guess you could say something to your dad, like, hey, Dad, like, no guests if you don't mind. It really freaks out the cat or whatever. Like, you could try that if it's really going to bother you. But like, if you had some 25-year-old dog sitter coming to your house, or cat sitter, excuse me, if you had some kind of 25-year-old, they might have a friend over and fuck in your house. You know what I mean? Like,
I definitely used to bang.
Yeah,
I'm
and if your
gonna
dad's
let
not
everybody
fucking
know.
in your house, your dad might be jerking in your house. I mean, it's like I don't know how we can draw boundaries on people's bodies when they're doing you like a favor, or you're inviting them to sleep in your home and sleep in a bed. Obviously you could be like, no orgies, but like,
I think you're right. It is more about the like, I don't really feel comfortable having people here. Like, you have people over. I feel like
it's kind of weird also because it's your stepmom. So that's weird to be like my stepmom's like she's like the cat should know who the stepmom is. Yeah. But like I guess
you know what it is though? Okay, you know what it is? I think that to let him know, because it seems like your dad let you know when he heard. And I imagine probably in a way of like, cause I heard you. I imagine it was in one of those kind of ways that it could be played off in a like, and just letting you know if you have people over, maybe clean up a little bit better of leaving it out of
but he was obviously trying.
Around.
He was obviously trying. He was vacuuming. I mean, God knows what was happening in there. I'm just kidding, Slime. I'm sure it was totally fine. Just like people having sex. Yeah.
And also, is it like, I guess, question for you, Slime, was it the kind of medicine cabinet that you definitely would have noticed in that short of a time period? Like, could it have been someone else? That is I'm just playing my little devil's slime syndicate advocate over here of just, could it be someone else's? Could it be the kind of thing of, slime fiance bought it as like, you don't know. Sometimes I feel like, not to be like this, it's like, I bought it because it was like, I wanted to see how long it could be, I'm not saying what I am saying is that if I had a dick, I feel like I would play with stuff. You're telling me, Kara, that you have never encouraged someone to try one of those like rhino, like horn powder,
the shit
like
you get at the bodega, the gas station,
yeah, you
stuff?
never tried that.
I certainly haven't. No, I haven't.
Oh, I've tried a lot of it, and I have purchased a lot of those, like just to see, like, what does that feel like?
I've always wondered who buys that stuff, and now I'm finding out.
So I'm also just saying that, and I'm not saying that slime. I'm not even saying that like because Slime Fiance uses it. It's that is it possible that it was like right? Wow. Oh, it made it turn blue.
Yeah.
Like, that sometimes a person with a penis, is staring at it and thinks, what if it got numb all of a sudden, and wouldn't that be fun? And then I could slap it against a door and I could see how hard I could slap it against a door. Right?
I never even heard of this spray though.
Oh yeah.
This is like Slime's educating me. Like I didn't know there was like numbing spray that could make you go longer. I never heard of it.
It really it's great. It's fun play. It's also like a fun like edge play thing. It's not just for people. It's like, just because you're like it could be used for so many things.
Okay.
In a fun, playful way is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing it out there. I think that these things are fun.
Yeah, I think you're definitely the bitch if you bring it up. Because I think it's like needlessly embarrassing unless you guys have this kind of playful relationship like what Jackie said.
Yes.
I think it's like kind of needlessly embarrassing your dad. If it's something that's going to seriously mentally bother you and you're going to feel like every time he watches your cat, which I mean, let's realistically talk about how often this is going to happen. Once a year, once every 2 years, twice a year, like max.
Right.
I mean, like if it's seriously going to bother you, like that your dad is, having sex in your house, then I guess let's figure out some way that you can get him to be like, no guests. But I don't know about like.
It's difficult when you know it's your stepmother.
Yeah.
It's difficult when you're like, that's a like,
so
but
tough.
No stepmom.
Yeah. And no parties. Yeah. Like, it's like, I don't know. Maybe they're in a sexual renaissance, your dad and your stepmom.
I mean, good for them.
They couldn't even do a day away from each other. He was like, get over here. The cat's asleep. Come on.
When the cat's in the cradle and the daddy's hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I said that.
The man on the moon. Let us know what happened, Slime. And yeah, this is wild. I love it. Okay, let's go to an email that we got. I'm going to read this one.
You got
Hi, y'all. Love the podcast and can't wait to share this sitch. The context. My best friend. And now, again, I don't know if you wrote this email before I made my announcement that I cannot follow emails that call people just by one letter. So I am going to rename the people in your story. You asked us to call him T. I will be calling him Tito. And his girlfriend, let's say L, I'm going to call her Lysandra. Okay? Because I'm pretty positive that those aren't their names.
Okay.
And that way,
glass. You're like,
and that way, no one will get outed because I doubt that their names are Tito and Lysandra.
Probably.
But maybe they are, and if so, I apologize for being the best guesser of all time.
Wow.
So my best friend Tito and his girlfriend Lysandra of 2.5 years broke up last fall. He is chronically afraid of commitment, and she wants to have a family someday. In the spring, they got back together. My friend decided to commit to the relationship and get over his issues, but in reality, he kind of wasted her time. Ultimately, they broke up again because he still couldn't get over the marriage and kids talk. It has been a couple of months since the second breakup, and my friend Tito is seeing another girl. In my opinion, it was way too soon for him to be seeing other people again, but I try to keep those opinions to myself. The girl he's seeing is nice. They seem to be on the same page. The other day, Lysandra sent me a text message saying she had a gut feeling that Tito was seeing someone else. She told me she asked Tito about it and that he declined talking about his romantic life. My response to her was that it's not really any of her business and that she needs to move on. I'm a giving it to you straight kind of person and don't often sugarcoat things, which makes me the bitch a lot of times. And I said these things to her with a lot of love in my heart. I think Tito is no good for her, even though he is my best friend. And I think she's trying to hurt her own feelings and support some kind of self-deprecating narrative she has in her head by asking these questions. I ended up telling her that I couldn't give her the support she was looking for because of how close I am with Tito. She apologized for putting me in that position and we moved on. In caps, until last night.
Oh,
okay?
God.
Here's what happened. Tito and I went to the local weekly karaoke night, and Lysandra was there with some of her friends, which is unusual for her on account of her work schedule. The new girlie that Tito is seeing is also there, and at one point, they sang a song together. This is where it blows up. Lysandra turns to me and starts yelling that I tried to gaslight her over text, and that she is not stupid, and that she can see exactly what's going on, and that Tito is seeing another girl. I stood there so shocked because this is so out of character for Lysandra. I told her this was not the time or place to have this discussion and that I would 100% meet up to talk about it. She continued yelling at me in the middle of this bar until I said, Lysandra, I love you and I care about you, but we can't continue this conversation right now, at which point she turned around and left the bar. Am I the bitch for trying to stay out of my friend's business and encourage Lysandra to move on? Love you guys.
Whoa.
This is the thing. I want you to talk, Jackie, first, but I want to say one thing is that I feel people don't understand what gaslighting is all the time. I think people misuse the term gaslighting. Gaslighting is not just like lying to someone. Gaslighting is when you lie to someone with the intention of kind of making them feel crazy.
Yes.
Like, well, but you didn't say that. You never said that yet. Well, you know you said it. You know what I mean? Like somebody saying you didn't do something, saying you did do something when you didn't, trying to make you feel nuts and second guess your own sanity because they're telling you like a story that doesn't match up with your own story. So what I'm seeing here is not gaslighting. This friend said, girl, I don't think you should move on. I'm not gonna be able to talk to you about this. This is my best friend, blah, blah, blah. Even if you knew that, you should have assumed that Lysandra should have assumed that the writer of this email knew some tea and just wasn't telling her.
Yes.
There was nothing in here that to me reads as gaslighting.
You're so right.
So I just want to say that little definition really quick because gaslighting comes from a book about like gaslighting where the purpose was to make the person in the book go crazy. You know, it's not just when someone lies to you. You know, it's like, oh, my boyfriend gaslit me all the time. It's like, well, yes, your boyfriend probably did gaslight you if they were like, babe, you're crazy. I'm not cheating. I'm not. Oh my God, you're so jealous.
Exactly.
That's gaslighting. But you're a friend going, I can't talk to you about this. It's not gaslighting.
No, but I do feel like Lysandra, though, unfortunately did see it as the fact that like her friend was not telling her the truth. Even though all you said, and you have the receipts, I'm sure, because you said it was via text to show that you said, hey, just stay out of it, and just, you need to move on. You need to stay out of this, and you need to
And
move
also,
on.
it's like, we all kind of know that there's a bit of a ranking or a hierarchy with friends. If that's her best friend, Tito's her best friend, as close as she maybe became to you during the course of their relationship, that's her best friend. Like, she's going to be loyal to him.
Also, you would have been like person writing in would have been the bitch if they had said, because when Lysandra went to Tito directly, which I also appreciate, Tito straight up was like, I'm not talking to you about my love life. I'm not going to tell you about these things. So it would have been bitchy if the writer in had told Lysandra anyway.
Yeah.
That would have been bitchy. I feel like everything you did up to this point was right, writer in, as far as I'm concerned. You did what you could, but also didn't overstep any boundaries. But at this point, I mean, you asked, am I the bitch for trying to stay out of my friend's business and encourage Elle to move on? I don't feel that you are, but I guess my question for you is now, what are you going to do? What are your next steps going to be in this situation? Are you going to distance yourself more from Lysandra? Are you is that something like, I guess I would want to then talk to myself and think, do I want to continue and reach out and nurture my relationship with Lysandra at this point? And is that something that you would like to get over in your friendship? Because I feel like at this point, well, Lysandra feels like all the trust has been broken and this needs to be rebuilt, even though that's really not what's happening here. And you can nurture that and rebuild that if you'd like.
But I also think...
But do you want to?
Yeah, but we can also give Lysandra maybe a spot of grace just because she just went crazy because she saw her ex with somebody new.
Of course, of course.
Even the writer in is like, it was too soon to move on. And Lysandra's obviously sad that he moved on.
Yes.
So she went nuts at a bar and she knew she couldn't yell at him because I don't know why she thought she couldn't yell at him. Like, she just thought... There's a lot of internalized misogyny in our lives, you know?
Of course.
She thought it would be too cuckoo for her to yell at her ex, or maybe too close for comfort, or she knew she would have a full breakdown if she did that. So she yelled at the next best person, the next best person that she could, find.
That's
who
what I'm
she
saying.
thought was
I wouldn't take
it.
that shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really want to take that shit, but also it depends on what your relationship is with Lysandra.
With her, yeah.
It may be.
But you handled it in the bar really, saying nicely, well, this isn't the place to talk about it. I love you. I care about you. We can't talk. I mean, I would be like, bitch, what are you talking about?
You're yelling
get out
at
of my
me
face
right now?
Yeah. I would have been so mad.
He's stripping somebody else and you're yelling at me?
What? Yeah, this has you literally would have been within your rights to go talk to him. This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. But she was scapegoating you a little bit because you were a person close by that she could scream at because you didn't give her the exact information that she wanted when she asked you. Because, you were being a good friend to your friend. But... yeah, I don't know where you go from here with her. I don't know. I couldn't really gather whether you and her have a friendship that much outside of him.
Right. And so I'm curious as to what that relationship is.
You're definitely not the bitch, though, for being like, I think you should move on. I think you were just telling her something she didn't want to hear.
Yep. And it is difficult to be, honestly, if you might be seen as a bitch in Lysandra's eyes, but sometimes you got to be a necessary bitch. I feel like sometimes you got to come out and say, and you didn't even say the damn truth that was not yours to tell either. You just said what you could say.
Right. So, damn. I mean, I'm sure that after you wrote this, she like went home and felt, I hope she felt silly because like, I'm sure she just was like flying off the handle and like she was there with friends. It was probably so emotional and embarrassing to see him there with somebody new. Not embarrassed, like, you know, you just feel embarrassed, not like you should be embarrassed, you know.
I'm impressed because I feel like if I were Lysandra, I would have just like gotten up on the stage and did the turn around every now and then. I've been lonely, but you never come around.
Or like Jagged Little Pill, like you do, like, and are you thinking of me? Like, you know.
Yes. And just screaming at them from across the karaoke bar. So I will say impressed that it didn't get down to that.
Yeah, very impressive, very impressive. But yeah, I guess let us know what happens with Lysandra. And I'm sorry, it was just really funny hearing you give the advice, Jackie, and keep saying Lysandra because these names I created.
Well, also, it's just because Lysandra is my favorite character or one of my favorite characters in Throne of Glass. So it is just a very weird choice. Yeah, she's like, oh, well, I don't want to say what she is, but she is
I just
a really
made it up.
Strong character.
It just came to my mind.
So
I don't know why. I don't think I've ever heard that name before. I've heard Lysander.
Really? No, you just...
in like old literature.
Kara, you filled my spirit with joy and you didn't even mean to. So
wow. And Akatar, who's the bitch crossover that we never could have seen coming. All right, we have another call. We got a lot of calls and responses to another secret sibling, and so we might just have to start having secret sibling corner.
Secret sibling corner,
because we just got a lot of reactions or people calling in to say this happened in their family or whatever. But this was an interesting call, so I wanted us to hear it. So here we go.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hi, Jackie and Kara. I just called and hung up a second ago because I always get nervous that I'm saying Kara instead of Kara and really threw myself off. But anyhow, hello. Long-time listener should know how to say your name by now. But the Secret Siblings episode has me wondering similar questions. I am 33 and I don't know my father at all. I know who he is and I know he lives like 2 towns over from me. I've actually run into him in the wild multiple times and made eye contact and you know, what are you even supposed to do in that situation? So no one says anything. He added me on Facebook like 8 years ago, and I took a long time I finally accepted it, and then he never said anything. So I eventually just unfriended him after a few years because it was just freaking me out that he could see everything I was doing and never said anything. Anyway, he has 2 children with his wife, the woman he got with after he left my mom. They were never married, by the way. Don't think that matters. But yeah, he's got a son and a daughter, and I don't know if they know about me at all. But I, would like to have a relationship with them at some point. I've stalked them online, and my half-sister has, some similar interests to me, and I'm an only child other than that. So I just never had siblings, and I don't know if it's a bitch move of me to reach out directly to the siblings and go around having to talk to my father, because I feel like he had his chance many, 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 many times to talk to me and just never did. And I don't really want anything to do with him per se, but I do want something to do with my half siblings. I have a cousin who learned pretty out of the blue that her father wasn't her biological father because the half sibling reached out to her, and it kind of blew up her entire life. This isn't exactly the same with the situation, but she told me, don't reach out to them. It's, it could blow up their life, and bad things could happen, like cause a rift in the family, whatever. But I'm over here thinking, well, there has been a rift in my family for 33 years from a man who will not talk to me, who never has talked to me, and who has 2 children who may not know I exist. I know that he's definitely a bitch, but am I a bitch if I reach out to his kids? Or should I try reaching out to him? This has been on my mind for over 10 years of, reaching out to the siblings or not. And I've never done anything. I've just been thinking about it forever. Anyway, that's it. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay. So this is like a different situation of this person is the secret sibling, right?
Yes.
And I mean, what do you think?
My immediate thought out the gate would be, especially because like, it seems like, oh God, it's so difficult because the fact that you already talked to your dad and your dad said, don't reach out, or your bio father and your bio father said, don't reach out to the kids, right?
No. The bio father, she has seen him in person a couple of times, like across a room. They've made eye contact, nothing. He friended her on Facebook 8 years ago, never messaged or said anything. So she unfriended him after a while because she was like, I feel weird that you're seeing everything I'm doing, but you've never reached out. Her cousin.
Okay, the cousin.
That's what I was going to start out with, is saying that the cousin is putting a lot of their own shit on you, because that's very different. The cousin found out that her dad, that she was raised with, thinking was her bio dad, was not her bio dad.
Her bio dad.
That's a very different situation. You would reach out to these siblings and say, your dad had a family before you, because I don't think you're from an affair. Like, I think, right? Like, what I'm for reading here is that
seemed like
your
he
parents
just left.
Your bio parents were together, and then he left and he got together with a new family. So it's like, they could be mad at the worst case scenario to me is they're mad at their dad going, how could you never tell us that you had this kid from a previous relationship? That's it. There's nothing changes about their identity. You know what I mean? Like, nothing changes you have a different mom than you thought, you have a different dad than you thought, you guys aren't related to each other the way that you thought you were. Like, nothing really changes for them except that their dads had this secret. And guess what? People find out that their dads have secrets every fucking day.
We're fine
on this planet.
I mean, Kara and I are both fine.
Yeah,
we've openly said that we found these things out. And honestly, and I'm saying this as a person that was in the place of the people that you're reaching out to, the way in which we were reached out to was the biggest issue. I feel like you going to them on an even playing field, and not like, because you're not going to them asking for something, or you're not going to them in like a nefarious way because you're trying to get something. And I feel like that's why I would say, this is something you've thought about for a long time. Reach out to them and don't wait. Just don't wait until like something could happen to your biological father for it to happen, because I feel like sometimes then people are like, oh, are you just coming around because you're looking to see if there was any, like, that you could stake a claim?
Yes, exactly. You don't want people to accuse you of being like,
which you're not,
a gold digger or something.
I would just say, so look to the timing of it, that maybe now could be a good time, and reach out to, the woman that you said, like, it seems like you guys have some similar interests. And in this our day and age of social media, it is, I feel like, a blessing and a curse that we can reach out to each other. But I will say, as someone that has an open forum on most of my social media, I do get a lot of the, well, if you didn't want to be contacted, you'd have it all on private.
Right.
And I feel like, not to be a type of way about it, but you said it seems like you've been like looking at at least like checking up on them. And which, I mean, who hasn't? We're all on social media for a reason. We all get curious and look at people's stuff. But
and I just feel like what's the worst thing that could happen? First of all, the worst case scenario is
she doesn't respond.
They don't respond, or they respond going, we don't want to talk to you, goodbye. And that could hurt, but like, you know, that's a risk you got to take. And if your dad is pissed, like your bio dad, like fuck that. Like you have a right to meet people that you're related to. And your dad has done absolutely nothing to reach out to you, knowing that you live geographically close to him and have actually crossed paths, knowing that he has access to you on social media after he friended you. That's like the most passive aggressive thing I could think of. So what, he was waiting for you to reach out for 8 years on Facebook? Like, parents need to act like fucking parents. And
damn right.
If he comes to you and says, fuck you for doing this, you could just be like, I'm sorry, I don't really know you.
Fuck you for doing all of this.
I don't know you, and these are my half siblings.
All of the none of this for me. Yes.
Yeah.
But I would also say, I would recommend, hopefully, if you are able to talk to a therapist as you go through this.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, we're saying, oh, worst that happens is they're saying, oh, I don't want to talk to you. But also, that's it. Can be taken as a huge rejection, and that's also completely understandable. So talk to someone through this experience, I would say, before just like jumping right in. If you're able to talk about your feelings, about what you're expecting, about how to accept what you get on the other side, to know what you're getting yourself into, I would just say explore that a little bit before jumping into this experience, because it is a hotbed of what we could as human beings take very personally, even if it doesn't, if it's not meant to be so.
And I'm assuming that these siblings are also like over 18. Like I would not be contacting teenagers or something like that. If they're under 18, I would not contact them. But if they're over 18, because you said that you have similar interests and like you're 33, so like
I'm sorry, I was assuming that they were of age,
I know. I just wanted to throw that out. I don't think you were like get in touch with those 10-year-olds.
Those kids. Those kids are gonna be your new
You are
kids.
gonna pick those kids up for an ice cream. No, I think that you should reach out and you should just be pretty much like as vulnerable as you are with us. Like just say, listen, I know that this is gonna come as like a real, as like a shock to you. Maybe it won't. I don't know if you know I exist, but like we share a dad. I've never had any siblings. I just wanted to reach out to get the opportunity to get to know you. I'm not asking for anything. I don't have any major expectations. Like, you know, just to make it as calm in the contact with them. That's not like, you know, you've been hiding from me for all these years or anything like that. Like assuming they don't know, and maybe they'll write you back and go, yeah, we actually know about you and we just didn't know how to get in touch, or we didn't know what to say. He told us about you, but he didn't tell us your name or whatever, you know? There's so many ways this could go, but I totally agree with Jackie's advice to like make sure that like somebody professional is like kind of helping supervise your mental health as you go through that, trying to build that bridge with those half siblings. Let us know what happens. Please. Oh my God, I really want to know. And then let's try to get one more voicemail
Let's
in.
do it.
Another voicemail, and then that'll be that for today.
Thank you for calling Who's the Bitch. Tell us in the voicemail who's the bitch. Beep.
Hey, big fan of the show. Been listening since you all started, and it's fantastic. And I finally have a reason to do more than just listen and watch. I need to know if I'm being the bitch in this scenario. So I'm dating someone, and we've been dating for like 4 months now, and it was going really well, but now it's getting very strange. And I don't know if I'm being the bitch in my reaction, because things were going really well, and I wanted to take her out to get like sushi at this really nice place. It's like conveyor belt sushi. I love and she was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I was like, it's okay, I'll pay for it. Because one of the things she was worried about, she didn't want me to pay for the whole thing. But I had told her it's okay, I don't mind paying. And she's like, what if we like break up or something? And I was like, that's fine. Like, we're 4 months into a relationship. The possibility of us breaking up is always high. Like, you may meet someone, I may meet someone, and it's, you know, it's part of dating. It's part of life. It happens. And I think that even with that possibility, you know, you shouldn't not, you know, still have a good time with someone that you are dating. And so she was like, okay, but under the agreement that if, like, not if, but under the agreement that when she gets a job, because she currently doesn't have one, that she'd pay me back. I told her that wasn't necessary, but if it would make her feel better about going to this sushi place with me, then yes, that's fine. So comes up for like a date night, and I'm like, hey, let's go to this place. And she's like, I don't know, it's so expensive. And I said, yes, but remember the agreement you made. It's okay if we go, because, you know, I agreed that when you get a job, you can just pay me back for it. And mind you, deep down, I'm like, I don't really care about her paying me back. I'm just like, if it makes her feel better about like going, okay. If she genuinely wants to, okay, that's fine too. But I'm not really looking to be paid back for like a date night. So we, you know, we're talking about it, and I bring this up to her, and she's like, well, actually, no, because I just made another agreement with my friend, and I immediately was taken back, and I was like, wait, what does an agreement with your friend have to do with me taking you out? She got a gish galloped around it, but it basically came down to I just can't take her out to nice places because her friend is having a hard time in life right now. And I was like, I don't know what that has to do with us, or also why you would make that arrangement, but also make that arrangement and then not tell me until I bring it up, which then got into a whole conversation about how, like, the things we are and aren't, like, telling each other, because that seems like an outside influence, which happens, like, having a direct impact on our relationship, and I'm not finding out about it until, like, these moments. So I was like, okay, fine. How about I'm just anything above, like, the price of, like, all you can eat, like, buffet, because that's what she likes, and we've done it a lot, primarily on most of our dates, honestly. Oh, yeah. Then it's like, I know, but then she was like, maybe. And so that I was like, okay, fine, I'm never gonna take you out again. Like, if that, like, if it's just all you can eat, but that's all you want to do, then that's fine, and that's all we'll do. And then she got mad at me, like I was overreacting, or in this case, like I was the bitch. I don't know. Am I being the bitch here? Yeah, please let me know. Thanks, love the show. I'll keep it up. Bye.
Okay, this is a little of a confusing situation, but I wanted to know what you thought, Jackie, and because I have some thoughts, but
I guess my question for you, I got a little lost in the sauce when it came to the agreement with the friend. So what we're saying here is that she said then what it came out after having this discussion multiple times is that she also made an agreement with a friend who also financially is not doing well right now to not go out for fancy meals?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. And honestly, like, I kind of wanted to answer this because I want, like, this makes absolutely no sense. Like, what you're describing makes no sense. Like, what she's telling you makes no sense. Like, everybody needs to just... Your dates with her and your relationship with her is independent of whatever agreement or weird shit is going on with her friend. But to me, it feels almost like she's making a lot of weird fucking excuses to avoid going out to this nice sushi dinner with you. So what is that saying? You know?
Yes. I feel like that's what I'm trying to, why I'm so glad that you chose this one, Kara, because like I'm trying to figure out what is happening that's not being said, because I feel like there's a lot happening in like and I'm not saying that like caller is keeping it out. I'm saying that like that is happening on the outside around to caller, that is happening to them, that they might not be like having any control over, because in my brain, I'm coming at this as, okay, I'm the woman in this situation. I am, or like the other person, because I'm going to throw it out there. I love an all you can eat. I love a bang for your buck. I like not, because sometimes, especially when I would first start dating people, I would get uncomfortable going to nice places because I didn't feel like I was worth going to nice places. So I was all about how I felt about myself. But then what I would do is I would make up excuses for why I couldn't. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm a trash bitch. Oh, I'm just trash.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that it was a funny outward thing, but it was really because I was uncomfortable accepting nice things or things being given to me, because I was like, then what are you going to expect from me?
Right.
So that was so that's why I'm that's where I'm coming from in this conversation of like, what's going on in this other person's brain? Because it's like she made that agreement with a friend, right? So she's bringing this up, like you said, Kara, for a reason.
Right.
Why is she bringing it up now? Is it an excuse because she doesn't want to continue to go on dates with you? Is it an excuse because she feels uncomfortable because she doesn't have the money and she's not in a place to be able to say, how about we don't go on dates outside and I'd rather just do dates in the house where we don't spend as much money, but you guys don't know each other well enough yet, so maybe they're uncomfortable doing something like that. I feel like there's so many things that could be at play here, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing too that like stuck out to me was, well, you've been dating for 4 months. And to me, 4 months is like, all right, that's a long time to stick around. I think after 2 or 3 dates, it's like, okay, are we continuing to hang out? Like,
depends though, Kara. You say 4 months, but how many times have they seen each other?
How many dates?
Well,
it sounds like at least a few with a few all you can eat buffets.
Oh God, I love an all you can eat buffet.
Yeah, I mean, if it's that's true. That's true. If it's like one date every 2 weeks but still like maybe one date every 2 weeks, you've still gone on 8 dates. Like that just seems like guys should be getting to know each other. And this is like the first time that you're disagreeing and maybe seeing that you have a different worldview. And that's like the thing that kind of struck me was her going, well, what if we break up?
Right.
As if if you break up, you guys need to sit and tally up the balance of everything everybody spent and who owes what. Like, that's not how relationships work. And I don't know, does she get that? And
or maybe she's honestly, as you're saying that, Kara, maybe she has gone through that experience before and she's nervous about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that is something that she has experienced, that maybe she has gone through something where someone broke up and then they expected everything to be given back to them.
You could just send me a Venmo for all the dinners I took you on, bitch, or whatever. Like she was dating some bitch, you know?
Maybe talk to her about that and be like, hey, rather than the like, well, obviously I'm not going to, like, if we break up, and like coming at it from that level of like let's take it down. And why are we don't even need to have that on the table. This is just like, it sounds like there's a lot more keyed up anxiety coming towards you, which is understandable, because also maybe this is brand new territory for this person.
Yeah, and you sound like you're getting frustrated too, because you're just like, fine, we're not going to go on any dates anywhere anymore. And it's like, no, okay, that's not the answer either. Like, I think you guys need to sit, you need to talk, and you need to be like, listen, I'm happy doing what you want to do and going to these buffets or whatever. But once in a while, I don't see a problem with if I offer to take you somewhere, that we go somewhere. And I just want to understand, like, I want you to make me understand, like, why why that's not okay with you. Like, I want to understand that about you. Like, why going somewhere that's like a little bit different, because I could understand why from your point of view, an all you can eat buffet is annoying to be the only place you guys ever really go, you know?
Right. Of course. And I think that there's a place in which you guys can talk about this, that, you know, find out what would make you both more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because it's not also like, because it does sound like you're frustrated in being pigeonholed into that too, which, so let's talk about it. Let's undo some of this, because I feel like it's getting to a frustration point and we don't need it doesn't need to. But I understand why you've gotten to where you've gotten to.
Like her communication is frustrating, and you need to just sit down and be like, okay, dinners aside, we just have to talk about how we communicate, because I thought we made this plan. I thought you felt comfortable with the arrangement that we made, and then you bring in this other person, and I don't know what their eating habits have to do with us, like, you know, whatever. Like, so I just want to understand what's going on here so that we can move forward and still enjoy dates together. And I don't know, you know, I want to know how that shakes out, because her communication style sounds a little bit frustrating.
Yes, please let us know. And I don't mean to give it like an iceberg situation, but I do kind of feel like this is a bit of a, like, we're only seeing a portion of the issue here. I think that this is a bit of an iceberg bitch.
Yep.
And we've got to go uncover how big this goes. Because it sounds like you want to. You wrote in and you called in because you want to. You want to figure this out.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy.
And maybe she's going to be like, I hate conveyor belt sushi. I hate sushi. And I felt I was too scared to tell you. Maybe that's it. But it could be a million things. It could be, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe but I think after 4 months, like, you guys should be comfortable, like, doing things that the other person likes. And this is how you learn about each other. And then you need to consider if this is the kind of person that you want to be with. If the only thing she wants to do is, like, you know, like, because listen, I'm not saying that like a relationship is all tied up in money and different financial stuff or whatever. But if going out to a sushi dinner and enjoying sushi or enjoying a fancy meal once in a while is something that you enjoy, and that you need to find a partner that enjoys that with you, then maybe this isn't the partner for you.
And also, yes, it comes down to some partnerships rely and run on tit for tat, and that works for some partnerships. That is not really the partnership that I work best in. I do whatever I can, whenever I can, and I expect my partner to do the same. And we don't do you did this, so then I do this, and then I do. But here's the thing. For a lot of people, the I do this and then you do this works better for them.
Right.
But if that's not the vibe that you're looking for, that's okay. But you got to find that out, like, and let's talk our way through it.
My husband and I have vacillated between me making more money than him making more money than me.
Exactly.
Like, we don't do it in the, like, well, you know, it's kind of just like we're a partnership. I get it's different. You're only dating. You're not quite at marriage yet. But, like, this is where you find out these things.
Find
you know?
that
and
out.
Like,
right.
Honestly, doing different things with someone is how you find out about somebody. Going to the same all-you-can-eat buffet date after date after date is, like, kind of how you sort of can get stuck in a rut and, like, maintain a status quo. And you want to make sure you're actually getting to know this person and, like, have different experiences with them, whether it's different cuisines or doing things or doing different activities, whatever, you know.
It's someone you're experiencing life with, and you want someone that wants to experience life the way you do. And if they don't, that they're willing to at least meet you somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Or do your way sometimes,
yes.
And then sometimes you do stuff she wants to do. Yeah, like, definitely the give and take.
Give and take.
Which is not, as give and take is not always, is not tit for tat.
No.
They're different.
It's different.
So, similar, same family, but different.
Yes.
Thank you for calling. Let us know what happens. I really want you to get that conveyor belt sushi, because I love conveyor belt sushi and I want it so bad.
I'm new to it, Kara. I've only been to it once, and I felt like it's like, I just had a taste, and I was like, put me back in.
Oh my God. We did it in Japan, and I was like, this is the best. And then we did it in LA once, but then there's this place in LA I really want to go to, but there's like an app you have to sign up for. It's so annoying. Anyway, That's the bitch.
Yeah.
Places that are too popular.
Oh, God, yes. And places that require an app, but we're not talking about that right now.
We're not. As always, thank you to everybody who wrote in. We get so many submissions. Don't forget to tune in to our Instagram, which is Who's the Bitch LPN. That is going to have bitchlets. That's where Jackie and I post some quick and dirty responses to some questions that are just a little bite-sized for social medias. I'm going to try to start posting those on our YouTube shorts as well. So again, go over to
YouTube.com. Yes, youtube.com/@who'sthebee. Go over there, get your follows in, and we're going to be popping up soon. We're going to be having more streams going up there. We're going to have more bitchlets going up there.
Yeah.
So get your follows in now. Subs. And I'm 1,000 years old. It's fine.
Yeah. And in the meantime, get over to who'sthebitch.com and keep sending us those emails, voicemails, DMs, and we will do our best to answer in the bitchy way that God intended.
Damn straight.
And yeah, you know, us two religious bitches on this pod.
Oh man, I'm always I'm
love
ABP
the Lord.
over
we
here.
Fucking famously love the Lord.
Love the Lord Jesus Christ.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.